Hi guys, happy Thursday. I can't believe it's already Thursday. I wanted to jump in here and talk a little bit about essential oils and aromatherapy. We have some wonderful ladies from doTERRA who have been working to get us some sample kits on some of the emotional release essential oils that they offer. The name that's coming to mind is Marcella, and I know I spoke with Mimi as well about this. So thank you ladies for bringing that together. And I hope you don't mind, I didn't ask your permission, just wanted to jump in here and share a little information about the essential oils and aromatherapy in working with trauma and grief. So first of all, thank you again for those kits. You guys who have reached out for kits, I hope there's enough to go around. I want you all to be aware that these kits are to be used if you are intending to treat pro bono or are currently treating pro bono people who were affected by the Parkland shooting. So please do not reach out asking for these for personal use or for use in your own practice outside of the work that you're doing with Parkland people. Of course, you can extend what you've learned to other people, but don't request and take from this unless you are doing it to serve anyone affected by the Parkland tragedy. Okay, so that's the first thing. I commented that in the thread. I hope you saw it. Really important. Second thing, you guys should all be aware, and Marcella, I'm sure you won't mind. I can tell that you're an ethical person, and I've enjoyed our interactions back and forth. I wanted to inform you guys that I'm sure that Marcella and Mimi are also representatives who are registered with doTERRA. And so that means that, yes, they're absolutely sharing free samples with you. And I want you guys to use them and to share them with your clients as you feel appropriate within your professional and ethical guidelines. But also know that there's always going to be an option to purchase more oils at the end of it if you like them or want to use them, or for your clients to purchase them. That is absolutely your choice if you want to go ahead of that. Please do not feel any pressure that because you received a gift that you need to purchase anything. And I'm sure Marcella would agree with that. All the people I've worked with in the essential oils field have been really good people, really trustworthy as far as their marketing and their ethics. So I'm sure she won't mind. But there's no pressure for you, no pressure for your clients. There are always other ways that you can buy your oils, although there's a lot to know about the source of your oils. You want to make sure that they're pure. They're therapeutic grade. Just buying them at the grocery store or on Amazon is not going to be the same thing. So just be aware of that and do some research. There's a few different companies, and doTERRA has been so awesome to jump and serve our community during this time. Okay, so no pressure. If anyone for any reason feels something that they experience as being pressured to purchase, please privately message me and let me know, and I'll make sure that we address it, although I don't anticipate that happening. Okay, now on to the use of essential oils in therapy. Aromatherapy, of course, I'm sure you all know this, but I just want to state it should not be used as a standalone clinical intervention. It is not designed to replace therapeutic research-based interventions that you're using to treat trauma and grief. Okay, now with that being said, we've gotten a lot of feedback from people in Parkland and from the therapists who did work in Sandy Hook that the aromatherapy is super powerful in serving as a grounding and an emotion regulation tool. And these are some of the first and the most important things that we need to be teaching our clients who are experiencing trauma and grief. These skills need to be at the forefront, constantly reinforced. And the aromatherapy is super, super powerful because it's so sensory driven and it's so in the moment that it can rapidly ground people. So that's what it should be used for. I've been trained in protocol through EMDR on how to install an aroma as a resource for grounding and regulation and creating a sense of calm and safety. And I can share a little bit of that. We're going to do, it's called an ATIP training for recent traumatic events. The training materials are coming together for that, and it's going to be a free training really soon. So I'll share a little bit too about installing an aroma during that training, but that's what aromas are to be used for. Okay, and they're super effective. I've been using them with my clients in Parkland. They love them. I've used them with clients in my own practice who have trauma and need self-regulation. Awesome stuff. So you need to be aware, first of all, be mindful of your clients and their own specific needs. So some people have sensory issues where they can get overwhelmed by too much smell, too much noise, too much sensory input. So you need to be mindful and ask questions before introducing an aroma. You also want to be aware that people can have allergies, potentially to something that's in an oil. So you need to know what's in the oil, and you need to be sure in your intake form and in your conversations that you're talking with your clients about allergies. Okay, you also need to know that essential oils are essentially medicine. They're herbs and they're plants and they're derived from the earth, but this is what used to be medicine long ago, and still we have certain medicines that are, plant-based. So they're really powerful and they can be absorbed into the bloodstream through the skin. So they can totally change the chemistry of your body, and you want to be aware of that when you're using them or when clients are using them. I would not recommend using them on the skin with your clients in sessions at all. It's too much of a liability. Your license will not cover you in doing that kind of work. But what you absolutely can do that's not invasive is use them as an aroma. Now, the way I like to do this, I keep a bunch of snack size little Ziploc bags, and each one has a cotton ball or two in there. And I'll take the cotton ball and put a couple drops of the oil on there, and I'll use those as the aromas. Now, I also give clients an option of which aroma they prefer. So I'll pick a few that I know are kind of grounding and regulating, and I'll let clients kind of whiff them and get a little waft of what they smell like, and then choose the one that they like. And I'll put it on a cotton ball, and I'll use it with them. I hold it in front of their nose, or they hold it in front of their nose. And while they're doing that, I'm helping them to relax. I'm helping them create a sense of calm and peace and safety. And whatever that looks like for you, it might be different. These are things that you do naturally. So you might be doing some breath work, some deep, slow, long breathing while taking in the aroma. And that's a great way to pair the physiological and the emotional states of calm and safety with the aroma. And once those two things are paired up in the brain, they can be more easily accessed for clients. So again, there's a number of ways to do it how you want, but you do want the aroma to be paired with something positive and something that you want them to be able to access when they smell it. What was I going to say here? Oh, sometimes using the same language or the same labels for what you're doing with the aroma will help people access it in their brain and remember and pull up those feelings you want them to be able to create on the moment. So you might want to call the aroma something specific. Call it your smell, or your lavender, or your cotton ball. Just something simple. Give it a name so that all of this information you're teaching their body and their brain about the aroma is stored under one label and can be easily accessed in memory. And then you also want to use some of the same language. So develop kind of a general script that you'll talk people through when you use the aroma. So something like, as you breathe in this scent, you breathe in a sense of lightness and calm. And as you let go, you release any stress or tension in the body. Just little phrases like that, whatever comes to you, whatever works, but try to use some of the same language because it's going to help people really lock this in. And as with any skill, when you're using an aroma as a grounding tool, you're going to want to repeat it. So you're going to want to review it every session, and you're going to want to also have people set aside time to practice it, both when they're calm and when they're activated or triggered or, emotional. So if they're not practicing when they're calm, they're going to have a harder time accessing it when they're later in like a tough state. So you want to have them walk through like, hey, in the next couple days, when is going to be a time that you're going to want to use this? Okay, and when in the day do you have time and space that you're usually calm and quiet and can pull it out and practice? So walk through, provide some anticipatory guidance on using these aromas and these skills. So guys, I know this is really basic clinical stuff. Probably a lot of you are already aware of it. But I wanted to bring it into the context of using the aromas because we have had such great feedback about their use. Just like with the therapy dogs, anything that's really present and sensory driven in the moment is going to be really powerful for helping people regulate themselves. And they can't control the events of the world around them, but they can control their own emotional states, and we're giving them the skills to do that. Aromas are one really powerful way. Okay, so in summary, yes, this is absolutely part of marketing, giving free samples, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's up to you if you wish to purchase oils after this or not. There's no pressure to you or your clients. Second of all, this is not to be used in place of any clinical intervention. It's effective as a grounding and a self-regulation skill if you wish to use it. Third, be mindful of your client's specific needs, so allergies, aversion to scents. Don't let it, touch their skin and things like that, because these are medicinal and can be absorbed into the bloodstream. And then finally, I walked you through kind of a process to pair an aroma with the physical and emotional state that you want them to have. Okay, so if there's any questions, please comment, please post them here, ask them, and I will be happy to answer them, although I'm not an expert on this. I just wanted to share from my experience and based on my conversations with some of the volunteers here and Professionals United for Parkland, what I thought would be helpful for you all. Okay, that's it.